Hi and welcome to our channel. Summer is at its peak and we are not traveling anytime soon. So we decided to go somewhere where we can see a few planes. So we are going to Al Mahatta Museum in Sharjah. We are staying close by and we never knew that such a hidden gem was there near to us. Kuttu and Kunyu asked Daddy to drop us off at the museum. This is an aviation museum which was open to the public in the year 2000. Before that, this was an airport which was the first in this region and was built in 1932. This museum was built to highlight the history of flights in UAE and the region. The location of this museum is in Al Qasmiya area in Sharjah. Usually, it is open from Saturday to Thursday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Fridays from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. The ticket rates are also not high. For children under 2 it's free, from 2 to 12 it's 5 and for adults it's 10. So now let's jump right in and see few planes. I made Kuttu open this airport hangar and he was shocked at the first sight to see such a huge plane standing in front of him. And this plane is called as Avro Anson 1G AKVW. Yeah, a huge name for a huge plane. There were lots more other planes which ranged from small to big. The kids were in awe seeing the huge size these airplanes had once they stood underneath them. They got to see the huge size of the wings and the propellers that the airplanes had. Now we are going up to see what the inside of the plane looks like. Kuttu was wondering where the rest of the seats went. And he was surprised to see that the pilots had a lot of switches that they needed to use. It was an amazing sight to see the inside of the cockpit. It is not a usual thing that we get to see even while traveling. Kuttu's wish finally came true as this plane came with some seats. Before COVID, people could sit on these pilot chairs and click pictures, but now we have no access to them. Kids were exploring each and every nook and corner and buttons and switches that they were able to touch and explore. Kunyu has only been on a plane when he was 6 months old, so he's wondering what all these things are. Now we have entered the photo gallery. In this section we get to see a small figure of the first flight, the pictures of it, the interiors of it and such related pictures. The photos here give us an idea of what long distance travel was like. Journey by air were made by very few people and their arrival was a special event which deserved a reception committee. In early 1930s, only seaplanes could land in the area before the landing strip was built in Sharjah. But in 1932, a British company, Imperial Airways, asked the Sharjah ruler for its planes to stop on their way from Britain to India. An area of salt flats near the sea was rolled smooth to make a short runway. The Sheikh built a fort to accommodate passengers and crew. In 1934, the Imperial Airways extended the route to Australia, and each week several of the four-engined Hangley Page HP-42 biplanes stopped overnight at Sharjah. These are the room and the things used by the airport officials during that time. We saw an interesting film about the daily life at the airport and in Sharjah town during the 1930s. We can see the equipments and pictures in which they show how the aircraft got its fuel. We were able to see a beautiful model of the airport. We can see the components and the machines that were used for air navigation during those days. The black box, which is orange in color, and some fire extinguishers and other emergency things that were used are on display here. This is piston engine DC-3 aircraft. We can see the amount of things that keeps the propeller in place. This is the pilot's seat and control shaft. A pilot controls an aircraft from the cockpit, also known as the flight deck. Early aircrafts had instrument panels made of many dials and switches, such as those on display. Today, most of these are gone and replaced by electronic displays. This was the only thing that was interactive over there. When Kutu pressed a switch, all these started moving. Here we got to see a lot of pictures about the airport during the early days. A picture of Sheikh Zayed with dignitaries and captain of the flight club. Also the captain during that time. This was the captain's uniform. The books on display included the records that were kept, passport of the captain, diary and other essential documents used during that time. This is Fatina Al-Bitar Al-Khatib, one of the first female pilots. Next, we went to see how man got the idea of flying. These are the fossils of small flying insects. Kutu was asking me if it was a dinosaur that was able to fly. But here we get to see the fossils of birds, and in it we can clearly see the structure of their wings. Models of flying insects and birds were there on display. Kunyu here was also happy to see some birds. This is the wing structure of laughing dove, which is a bird that is very commonly seen here in UAE. Models of certain seats were on display, which showed how they were able to fly in the wind and land somewhere far away. This was a model that I liked. It looked very realistic. We could see this huge engine and walk around it. I was astonished to see all those parts that kept it together. The real struggle of taking a picture. Then there were few more displays about how the new airport was inaugurated and the current airlines and the beautiful pictures of the present cockpits. These were some of the awards that were also received by them. And that is a picture of the current airport. So that was a beautiful trip to Al Mahatta Museum. Hope you liked our small video. Do subscribe to watch more such videos and give us a like if you liked it, and do share it with your loved ones. Don't forget to comment down below. Bye.